Strange days are here again. Now I'm dancing with my imaginary friends. In my head, they say what I need to hear, whispering lies that make my problems disappear. Then I get paranoid. Oh no, I let them in again. Should I play along? Why yes, let's play a game of pretend. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Time to let my crazy show. They feed on fears, they twist my thoughts. Act like kings, but they're just bots. Truth is, they just fucking bore me. Now it's my turn, I'll flip the game. Step inside, let's play insane. Let's get this psycho circus started. You're at my party, dearly departed. I can make this fun, do you wanna run? I'm pulling out the big one, just for fun. Pop the champagne and run, bitch, run! Strange days are back again. Still dancing with my imaginary friends. In my head they say what I need to hear on repeat till the silence disappears. 1, 2, 3, now you know. This is how I let my crazy show. They prey on doubt, my insecurities. Play pretend like they've got authority. But truth is, they just fucking bore me.
When you're talking to yourself,
Hey guys, hey Innocent, hey Rapper. So I still haven't made it to a dentist. I'm having issues with my insurance. We'll probably get to that after Jody's stream. Here, I'll show you guys. This is what I look like. I ain't horrible, but the eye's all cleared up. We're going to get over what happened because Jody had a lot to say tonight for such a... Oh, happy Mother's Day, Innocent. Rapper, be nice. We don't do that here. But anyways, Jody had a lot to say tonight. She's still live, but I just want to go through the 30 minutes I got from her. I'm going to stop my cam. Okay.
I want to show y'all something. I'll tell y'all at least. Do you remember a few weeks ago, before Cher's hair journey, when I made a casual mention over here of how it was very odd that one came live and whispered. It's whisper live.
Let me start, Jody, by saying I didn't see Cher before she came live. I didn't get her notifications until I think somebody sent them to me, number one. Number two, I didn't hear nothing about no hair comment, so that's stupid. What does a hair comment have to do with anything? Cher went on the attack after me and then didn't follow through with her stupid attack, but did put my picture on the thumbnail. We could rewatch it tomorrow night maybe because I got to start coming live. Just crazy. Cher was reviewing Andrew. I'll have to look at it, Innocent. Jody's something, man. Just wait. She gets all into my personal life.
Well, I was like, yeah. Almost like a way to draw things away from. But anyway, around that period there, showed on screen a video for some reason featuring Crystal's face, but the whole video was about me, really. Oh, yeah, right? It's like, that's a little strange. Now, this was a direct follow up after Crystal started magically, suddenly acting super extra nutbaggy around Summer's birthday. Remember her whole, "My family's kidnapped Summer, they're bringing her out any minute. They've held her hostage." Y'all remember that shit, right?
I've gone over this a million trillion times. Start at Summer's birthday. Up until about a month ago, it's in every live. I had to come out here and explain myself. And we're going to get into more detail a little bit while Jody's explaining some things because she talks about her sister and me attacking her family. That's not exactly true, Jody. And why don't you tell people what your sister's maiden name is? Why don't you give them her real name? Why don't you come out here and tell them what her connections are? Because you're not denying that they're her connections at all. However, let's continue.
And Crystal was up to fuck shit. That was not Crystal really legitimately losing her shit, but they made a good effort making you think that. No. Crystal's up to her same old shit she has been forming with this group for years. She's really good at it. Don't get me wrong. She really is a nutbag. Okay, she really is. But she ain't that nutty. But they hope with her actual history of mental stuff, and they'll use a lot of those.
Jody, I don't have a history of mental stuff. I've been going through things with my husband because he's working against me with the group of people you're accusing me of working with. And I promised myself I wouldn't talk about that no more because the police, let me show you something. We're going to go over this video real quick. Somebody who's not happy with me because somebody was using her name had called the police to my house and reported all the things I was talking about. The police she sent to my house, I want you to pay attention to what kind of police they are very carefully at the beginning of this video, okay? We're going to listen to the whole video, but I want you to hear what kind of police officers this man says he is.
Hi, can I ask what the problem is?
There's not a problem. I'm with the Pittsburgh Police.
And I'm worried because they're threatening me.
You're not in trouble, and there's nothing you're going to tell me that's going to get. I'm actually here to check on you, make sure you're okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
More than anything. So, maybe people involved in sex trafficking. If you want to talk to me about that, that's what we do.
Can I show it to you?
You can show me everything you want.
Can you give him a chance?
It's pretty much all we have to listen to right now. We can come back to that, but let me go back and you guys can listen to the first 24 seconds 2 or 3 times.
Hey, Crisco.
Hi, can I ask what the problem is?
There's not a problem. I'm with the Pittsburgh Police.
And I'm worried because they're threatening me.
You're not in trouble, and there's nothing you're going to tell me
Very
that's going to
true.
get. I'm actually here to check on you, make sure you're okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
More than anything. So, maybe people involved in sex trafficking. If you want to talk to me about that, that's what we do.
Can I show it to you?
You can show me everything you want.
Can you give him a chair?
I just want to
Work
say
up
to
a
you.
little bit here.
One more time, guys, and then we'll listen to the video through because it's only 3 minutes long.
Can I ask what the problem is?
There's not a problem. I'm with the Pittsburgh Police.
And I'm worried because they're threatening me.
You're not in trouble, and there's nothing you're going to tell me that's going to get. I'm actually here to check on you, make sure you're okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
More than anything. So, maybe people involved in sex trafficking. If you want to talk to me about that, that's what we do.
Can I show it to you?
You can show me everything you want.
Can you give him a chair?
I just want to
Work
say
up
to
a
you,
little bit here.
the last thing I came here to do was to get you or anybody else in this house in trouble. You're not in trouble for anything. Unless you tell me you killed somebody and I seen a body when I walked up there. Then you have got to do something. But I don't think that's the case.
Okay, sir, this is a video. Is my speaker on?
Yes.
My father, I don't know if you're aware of him or looked anything up about what's going on.
I don't know
here.
anything about your father, but
My father's name was Martin Stanley. He's born June 5th, 1958.
Okay, I'll get all that when I write it down. What do you got here?
Okay, this is a man. My father's been dead for 3 years. And this is a shell company running in my father's name with active cage codes. Okay, my father's been dead for 3 years. Cage codes means that they're being renewed every year. Okay, and they're a government entity. So my father's best friend, Guy Schutzius from here at Zone 3, concealed my father's death from me until it was too late. This is a company running in my father's name after his death.
Mhm.
I call the company after I found another YouTuber that lives in Indiana, but her father owned condominiums in Florida. So does this guy. And my father's from Florida and was one. I'm not crazy. I'm telling you the truth. I grew up in this life, and as a police officer, it happens. My father was involved in the cocaine cowboy days in the cartel down in Miami. I lived at 8959 Carlisle Avenue in Surfside, Florida. You can look it up.
Were you on the Netflix show Cocaine Cowboys?
No,
Or
I didn't even know my
didn't?
dad was as
Okay.
involved as he.
Was he?
I thought he ran. Maybe. I thought he ran prostitutes, and that was it, because he used to put us in the car and abuse us while he did it. We'd
Down in
watch it,
Florida.
me and my sister. Yeah, and he kicked me and my mom and my sister out, beat my mom. We came up here. We were homeless. And then he come back up and bought us a house in Glassport, Pennsylvania, which has a lot to do with this.
Okay.
Okay. So this is a company running in my dad's name. Listen to the phone conversation. And my dad's name's right there, President. Although, listen, it's dangerous for me to come out here and talk about this stuff. But here's what I'll tell you. I believe it was 1993. I had run away from home. I talked about this a little bit in my last live that I did. I had run away from home, and my stepmother had done some really dirty shit, and my father did some other really dirty shit, and it caused the FBI to come question me and send me back to Pittsburgh. It's on file with the FBI, and they can look it up, and it's proof of what I'm telling this police officer right here. I'm not going to go into further detail because it's now with the police, and I believe that that's where it needs to stay for the moment. We're going to get a little bit into it, a little bit here, but this is what led up to it. Let me let you finish this little bit left here, and then I'm going to move back on to Jody Sue, because I didn't get much of our conversation. I only wanted proof for you guys that I spoke to them. I don't want to overstep the bounds or record anything that shouldn't be put on YouTube. I just wanted proof that I spoke to them and what kind of police officers they were. Okay. So he didn't even live in Pittsburgh at the
So what type
time.
of business was it?
It's a shell company. It's a fake business, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Why is it not running?
118.
He calls it 118. It's actually a bar.
with?
Guy should see us.
Oh, Guy, this is Crystal. Why are you answering my father's business? I want to let you guys know the guy is very aware of the video I put out of him. It was all over my Facebook when I had Facebook, which, by the way, both of my Facebooks have disappeared, not just my 180-day ban, but I can't log in to my Facebook I was using for you guys and a Facebook that I've had for years since Facebook started that I haven't logged into in between 7 and 9 years.
But both of those Facebooks have disappeared. I didn't take them down. I don't know why they've disappeared. I can only assume that the law has them. In those Facebooks, you see in my community post, I talk about a woman named Dana. I have proof of her doing exactly what I think happened here. She sent me titty pics that were meant for a child. She sent me conversations with a child that I know in my personal life. And I had mentioned that in my YouTube somewhere, and I think that might be why the police had taken that. There's some other things I want to show you. Where'd I put my phone? Before we move on, because I'm just trying to get everything I can out. Guys, I'm still really not feeling good, and I'm dealing with a whole lot here at home. Like, more than the average person should, right? And it's all due to Summer's case and YouTube. It's destroyed my life. My husband and I will probably never be together again. And I'm going to show you why. Jasper. Hold on, I got to go to my gallery. I'm going to turn my camera on. Again, don't mind the way I look. I'm like real self-conscious right now. This is, and Jody Sue mentions these text messages or these comments that were on my wall. This is from a woman named Kylie who apparently tomorrow has a pregnancy test or an ultrasound scheduled with my husband. I was begging my husband to come online and defend me. I didn't believe that this girl was pregnant, but now I'm starting to believe that because he wouldn't get online and defend me. And instead, what he did was started writing my brother-in-law. I can't see all of their messages. They start at the top. You can see right there, the blue. It's where it's cut off. My brother-in-law's part-time girlfriend was sending text messages to my husband. And in these messages, they say, I can't see what she says right now. And then he says, okay, I'm trying to get her off. I know this shit is wrong. It's very wrong. I'll try to get her to quit talking about people. Okay, just don't tell her I was talking to you. I'll try to stop her the best I can. I don't know how long these conversations were going on, but I'm going to show you something else in a minute. I replied to you on YouTube. It don't mean nothing. She just started the fits. They are bad. That's not true, guys. My husband was coming into the room and provoking me. I got proof of him, and I'm going to show you that in a minute too. Apologizing to me for doing wrong, but it goes on going. Messages, you can't see the whole thing. Okay? Messages on YouTube to Crystal. I have to keep my house and keep her stable. Don't take anything to heart, but she's begging me to reply to you because he's getting pissed off. She meant to say she's. I'm kind of going to be fake fighting with you. So this girl's on here saying she's pregnant to my husband. And then my husband's going in here and saying that he's gonna fake fight with me while I'm begging him to get on here and defend me to her. And him, my ex-brother-in-law, and his part-time girlfriend. It's only there on the weekends, but then goes home Monday through Friday to her real husband. Earl, then he says, don't message this back because she'll be looking at my phone. So he's hiding messages from me. These are the games my husband's been playing with me. I'm missing clothes out of my home, one shoe. He's telling me he don't love me and he won't give me answers why he's doing things, and he's provoking me to go drink. It's my fault. I'm an adult. I have to get up and say, okay, I shouldn't drink. I quit drinking 8 years ago, and this has caused me to start drinking again. I lost my tooth because I fell on my face leaving a bar. I also brought a guy home with me that night. I didn't do nothing with that guy, but one of my son's friends tried to have his way with me, and my son caught him. I was blackout drunk. My son caught him doing it and beat the shit out of him, and the police ended up here that night. Thank God nothing fucking happened. Jody's going to go on and tell you guys about my friend John. She's going to give you business that doesn't belong on here unless I pull it out. Yes, I have a friend. Yes, my friend has a drinking problem, and I'm begging him to get his shit together because he's my first boyfriend and I understand him, and he's also going through a lot of medical problems. And we're just friends right now, and I'm trying to help him out. However, I'm not going to lie when I say I wouldn't mind it being more, but he needs to do what he needs to do for that to happen. However, Jody Sue is on here just giving all my fucking business like she knows something that she don't know shit about. Okay? Now, Earl, this is my brother-in-law threatening my husband. Earl, you are enabling this shit by saying that right now. You lost that house at this point. I'm going to assume by you saying that this female isn't lying yesterday either, and you were doing the same thing to whoever it was. So he's saying the female isn't lying the day before about being pregnant to my husband. My husband doesn't deny the claim. I'm not enabling it. They wouldn't take her. My husband tried to have me 302. Well, we call it 302. It's a 5150 that you guys know of. He tried to have me 5150, and he talked my daughter into doing that with him. And he talked my daughter into saying I was crazy, and he tormented me around my house for weeks because I told him I was scared of him because of the way he speaks to me. I also at one point thought that it was possible my husband could have been poisoning me because he had me so scared. He was manipulating me and playing mind games with me in my home. And like I asked him to put cameras up, and he fought with me a whole day for a 10-minute job and wouldn't put the cameras up. I got angry. I went to my aunt's house. When I returned the next morning, my husband had taken the cameras down and put them in a box and was calling Amazon to send the cameras back. I don't know why he's working with my ex-brother-in-law, who's not a family friend anymore. He's done some pretty horrible shit to my sister. Okay? But that's not the worst of it. Here, oh yeah, wait, hold on, let me finish. I have to keep it stable in my home until I find out what to do. And then he put, I already tried 302, and then after the word 302 is the word killing her. How do you take something like that when you're in a marriage and you're supposed to honor, love, and trust? And it's not the first time my husband's lied to me. We've had many problems in our relationship, but since Jody's pulling me to bring all this out, I will. I have messages from the Kylie. It gets worse, guys. Somebody continuously calls DHS on my family, on my grandchildren, over and over and over. My ex-brother-in-law was in my comment section saying that he sent martial law here. The last time they came, no, not the last time. They came one more time after that to follow through, and they dropped the case. But the time before that, some strange people showed up here, and we're not even sure where they were from. They introduced themselves as DEA, but they were here to check on the children. But that same day, my brother-in-law's girlfriend had told me that somebody was living behind me and watching my home. I have had feelings that my home has been broken into, which was the reason for the cameras that my husband wouldn't keep up. But I never go through my husband's phone. I feel like that's a sacred thing. I wouldn't want him going through my phone. There's times I do, but it's not often. He usually knows when I do it. April 25th, 2023. My husband gets this message from people I have been thinking were involved in a lot of stuff going on. And I'm just going to show you quickly that it's a real message. I'm going to leave names out of it. It's in the police's hands. They have this. 4:27 a.m. Big B is on your roof. My husband responds, "Who is this?" This is, we'll call him LJ. Join back up, and then we'll call him BO. Okay? The next one is, we'll make a new round table, 210 APT. I think that means apartment. Behind Target, take old school clicks or any crew. You're going to need somebody for backup, homie. My husband never showed me this. It was a threat to our life, saying that somebody was on our roof. And it includes all these people connected to all the people I've been talking about that I don't want to go too deep into detail about at the moment. But I got a threat, and my husband didn't tell me about it. And now I can't decipher whether my husband was supposed to meet them as part of working with them because of the apartment thing, or I'm just lost, guys. I'm really confused why my husband would do these things. But we're going to sit back and listen, because I think I have said everything I have to say. We're going to sit back and listen to what Jody Sue has to say about my business and how I'm working with people. No, Jody, I'm beat up. I am emotionally scarred. I am traumatized. My household has been turned upside down. It has caused fights in my home. The black eye came from my daughter-in-law because my husband led her to believe that I was calling DHS on her. My husband sat back while I tripped on my daughter-in-law's garbage and fell into a corner and couldn't defend myself. My husband sat back with his arms crossed and a smile on his face while my daughter-in-law beat my face in. That's what happened, Jody. So before you go starting rumors, I think you need to ask questions. You seem very defensive tonight and worried about something. And I think people need to listen to what you're saying, because you sound shaky in your voice and like you're trying to distract from something. And it's not right. You're supposed to be a warrior for domestic violence. And that's what I've been going through. Manipulation games, head games, bruised face, missing tooth. But I guess your pictures are more important than anybody else's. Even though my husband didn't physically do this, he provoked me to do things that are out of my character. It's not fair to me. And it's not fair to me that you get on here, somebody who's going through something extremely hard emotionally. And that's why I haven't been on here. All because I'm trying to help some missing little girl. I'll lose all my teeth over summer. Do you understand that? I'll get 10 black eyes. You can't even share her picture. I will be sharing her picture tonight before I get off of here. But I'm just going to sit back and let you listen to the next
30 minutes or so of this. I don't really have much more to say. Jody, you need to get your shit together and come out here with the truth, because you're the one out here spreading a lot of fucking lies. And that's not a joke.
Like, you'll see the AKs and the Jacobs or whatever, Though those aren't all the ones behind those accounts. It's whatever. And they'll get them up to the worst fuckery, and then they hope that no police will leave them if they turn the tragedy booms in, or that the cops, if they show up and are called by these people like Crystal and others tormenting throughout the years, or Shay with her own admitted, mental health problems, as we can obviously see in her criminal blackmailing behavior and shit, and such, and all that, that cops will be like, well, they're mentally ill, ma'am. Just log off YouTube. It's probably no harm. It's fine for the Rose and the Crystals and the Shays to run afoot doing it. It's just okay. Just turn it off. Mean. Yeah, fuck you, say. Alright? But they help nobody believe them, or that police are like, man, we're not going to prosecute because he's obviously mentally ill, and fuck that shit. No, they're just cons. They have a history of, for sure. But they're good at being monsters, mentally ill, and then playing it to the fucking hilt and trying to weasel life. What they do with these groups, and they do inevitably pick those with criminal histories and mental backgrounds throughout all these cases, is something you will notice heavily in each case. And with the research teams and the little ground squirrels. True story. I can prove it. I've got it compiled. How about you folks? Anyway, so what you notice, Crystal does her extra read all about them super bullshit around Summer's birthday. Okay? They make a big whoop-de-doo out of that. They use that to inevitably start fucking with me and blah, 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 blah. That's whatever. Wow. Yawn. Rinse, repeat. And then what you have is Cher. A little while later, I'd seen signs of it before her with others. Other creators. But she started being I was like, which is why I made sure to mention it here. It's like, oh my gosh, what's that about? Pebbles, right? So, what begins happening? And you see even Hilt's playing in still right now. Did anybody take note the other day? Okay, well, good. You know what? Okay, so weeks later, you'll see Hiltz the other day. When he really started that, Scrape was trying to get my attention, and I went on a panel somewhere. Felt like it. And then Hiltz does this thing. Now, right before this, in a couple weeks, Crystal's playing back shit, full on. Unbeknownst to most of y'all, she was going into yard sale groups, random local groups, everywhere around her, stirring shit, getting attention on her page, trying to get subs, views, etc. Then becomes her family fighting and meltdowns, and some of those accounts are really people out of her own community that are cool. Really people out of her own community that are cool.
Hold on, guys. I don't know what the problem is. Let me split it. They weren't people in my community, Jody. They were my family. It was my brother-in-law. And then my daughter did get on her to defend her father because she's confused and doesn't understand what's going on. And her father is actually living with her right now. She was very angry with me, and today I think we made a breakthrough and made up. She came over for Mother's Day and we had a talk. You sit there and say how people attack your children, but what you're doing in this live is attacking my children when we're going through a very hard time. And I understand that you believe that people did that to you when Summer had gone missing, when you were going through things with Andy. However, you and Andy broke up after Summer went missing, and it's suspicious because it happened after Summer went missing after 20 some years of being together. Just like I find suspicion in my own husband, and I'm able to say that. Did my husband do anything? I don't know. I hope not. But his actions lately have shown that he might. I'm not going to get on here and call him a monster because I don't believe he's a monster. However, I'm not going to get on here and say, oh, we just had this big fight and we're going through shit, but he didn't do nothing. Because that's what you do for Andy. Isn't it now, Jody? There's a complete distinct difference between the two of us. However, you're going to go on and say that I wear your clothes and I try to be like you. I don't know where you got this shit, but I think it's switched around. I think you very much so try to act like me all the time. Even with text messages, you lie about the text messages. You can't go 2 seconds without a lie coming out of your mouth. And it's blatant and it's obvious. Now the question is why do you do this?
Holy shit, this lady. But an abundance of what she's fighting with and all these counts are very fresh. Minutes, hours, days old. Okay. You have her story being one thing of, oh, and remember she accused her whole thing and then suddenly there was a divorce and then there was an alcoholic dude she was dating and all things. And then all that blah 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 blah, right? And then her kids get online color line. She races those. I've watched her with minutes and hours old counts, put those up under certain name. She's fighting herself and fake count. She's great, folks. Get smart. Anyway, but then it becomes, she does that shit to get attention and everything. Says her else, blah, 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 and the camera goes down, right? And then it's all this fuckery and nonsense. Afterwards, the new alcoholic, whatever, boyfriend, kids come on, call her liars. She deletes all that, of course, and it becomes it. Just try to make it like it was Earl. Nope, she fell down something first. And then it was Earl. But then she was like, well, he set me up. Because what started happening was her kids and others were like, I don't know, whatever. But she said it wasn't necessarily but Earl had her set up by her sister-in-law or mother-in-law or somebody else she was talking shit about online. And they beat her ass to the local bar. Now, I don't necessarily believe in that. I don't really care. But if you notice what Hiltz did the other day in other realms, they're putting attention on that. And Hiltz the other day, after AB, I'm like, man, here's how you do these cycles and the 30-minute things, right? I want to show y'all something. I'll tell y'all at least. do you remember a few weeks ago, before Cher's hair journey, when I made a casual mention over here of how it was very odd that one came live and whispered, did the whisper live? Well, I was like, yeah, almost like a way to draw things away from. But anyway, around that period there, showed on screen a video for some reason featuring Crystal's face, but the whole video was about me, really. Oh, yeah, right? It's like, that's a little strange. Now, this was a direct follow-up after Crystal started magically, suddenly acting super extra nutbaggy around Summer's birthday. Remember her whole, the family's kidnapped Summer, they're bringing her out any minute. They've held her hostage. Y'all remember that shit, right? And Crystal was up to fuck shit. That was not Crystal really legitimately losing her shit, but they made a good effort making you think that. No. Crystal's up to her same old shit she has been forming with this group for years. She's really good at it. Don't get me wrong. She really is a nutbag. Okay, she really is. But she ain't that nutty. But they help with her actual history of mental stuff. And they'll use a lot of those. Like, you'll see the AKs and the Jacobs or whatever, Though those aren't all the ones behind those accounts. It's whatever. And they'll get them up to the worst fuckery, and then they hope that no police will believe them if they turn the tragedy bums in, or that the cops, if they show up and are called by these people like Crystal and others tormenting throughout the years, or Shay with her own admitted, mental health problems, as we can obviously see in her criminal blackmailing behavior and shit, and such, and all that, that cops will be like, well, they're mentally ill, ma'am. Just log off YouTube. It's probably no harm. It's fine for the Rose and the Crystals and the Shays to run afoot doing that. It's just okay. Just turn it off. Mean. Yeah, fuck you, say. Alright? But they help them by believing them, or that police are like, man, we're not going to prosecute because he's obviously mentally ill, and fuck that shit. No, they're just cons. They have a history of, for sure. But they're good at being monsters, mentally ill, and then playing it to the fucking hilt and trying to weasel out what they do with these groups. And they do inevitably pick those with criminal histories and mental backgrounds throughout all of these cases. It's something you will notice heavily in each case. And with the research teams and the little ground squirrels. True story. I can prove it. I've got it compiled. How about you folks? Anyway, so what you notice, Crystal does her extra read all about them super bullshit around Summer's birthday. Okay? They make a big whoop-de-doo out of that. They use that to inevitably start fucking with me and blah, 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 blah. That's whatever. Wow. Yawn. Rinse, repeat. And then what you have is Cher. A little while later, I'd seen signs of it before her with others. Other creators. But she started being I was like, which is why I made sure to mention it here. It's like, oh my gosh, what's that about? Pebbles. Right? So, what begins happening? And you see even Hilt's playing in Still right now. Did anybody take note the other day? Okay, well, good. You know what? Okay, so Weeks later, you'll see Hiltz the other day. When he really started that, Scrape was trying to get my attention. I went on a panel somewhere. Felt like it. And then Hiltz does this thing. Now, right before this, in a couple weeks, Crystal's playing back shit. Full on. Unbeknownst to most of y'all, she was going into yard sale groups, random local groups, everywhere around her. Stirring shit, getting attention on her page, trying to get subs, views, etc. Then becomes her family fighting and meltdowns. And yeah, some of those accounts are really people out of her own community that are like, holy shit, this lady. But an abundance of what she's fighting with and all these accounts are very fresh. Minutes, hours, days old. Okay. You have her story being one thing of, and remember she accused her old thing, and then suddenly there was a divorce, and then there was an alcoholic dude she was dating and all things. And then all that blah 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 blah, right? And then her kids get online, call her alarm. She races those. I've watched her with minutes and hours old counts, put those up under certain name. She's fighting herself and thinking, she's great, folks. Get smart. Anyway, but then it becomes, she does that shit to get attention and everything. Says her else, blah, 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 and the camera goes down, right? And then it's all this fuckery and nonsense. Afterwards, the new alcoholic, whatever, boyfriend, kids come on, call her liars. She deletes all that, of course, and it becomes it. Just try to make it like it was Earl. Nope, she fell down something first. And then it was Earl. But then she was like, well, he set me up. Because what started happening was her kids and others were like, I don't know, whatever. But she said it wasn't necessarily but Earl had her set up by her sister-in-law or mother-in-law or somebody else she was talking shit about online. And they beat her ass at a local bar. Now, I don't necessarily believe in that. I don't really care. But if you notice what Hiltz did the other day in other realms, they're putting attention on that. And Hiltz the other day, after AB, I'm like, man, here's how you do these cycles in the 30-minute thing. Trying to help them and herself lose a lot of shit. And to make it anybody else truly calling out the real things, she's trying to help make people think, oh, well, if they're similar being said, then that must be just as bad shit. But what Cher and Hiltz and AB and them are doing in a group is combining image with my voice and this narrative where you start associating without even thinking. And then that way when you hear one calling it the real shit, you might think of the other one who's over there in woo-woo batshit territory, but not woo-woo batshit. It's pretend tyke con artist fucking horseshit criminal garbage. And then you take, like, say, Jackass posting about the white boy thing, right? Well, unless you're there in real time knowing the shit was posted, it comes as I'm calling out shit, right? But then mine goes down because, well, nah, played Keep on Rocking in the free roll. So people can't put together what Piss Pad's doing. Right? And a lot of people aren't going to go to that depth to even look at time markers and when she's doing it. Oh, I and others are, though. So it makes it look like Oh, look, Crystal said something, so therefore JC's fault. No goat, nor. Look, they're both talking about the same thing. No. Crystal's playing this shit, says the group, and they would like you to correlate us both together. They would also like very much to continue to trigger illicit responses on me, try to bring me in, do whatever. And I'm sorry, if any of y'all didn't catch on to the hot clue, this realm suddenly wants you to believe they give a flying fuck about the domestic violence perpetrated on my children and I for decades. When they've spent years trying to shoo it away, and like Ryan finds truth of her buddying up with that asshole and his abusive whorebag bitch, playing games for cash with and for this group and whatever else, and trying to get him out of all the shit and keep him saying blah, 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 right? And to get hands on little, I mean, all the things, and then they suddenly start giving a damn. And then all these jokers, especially these little siren ones, want to try to mind fuck me and make me forget or act like I don't know who and what they are and how many names they went by and what they've done around all that fears. Yeah. That didn't stink a little, y'all. They suddenly start giving a fuck. Nobody? All at the same time the rush is occurring, and then suddenly CTS are open. No. Hey! But it is what it is, right? But watch. If you want to. Almost, there will inevitably something that I mention or do, and CZ's timing will add up. It'll be after, and then she'll incorporate it into her fuck shit, and she'll make it some absolutely bad shit. Watch how many more times, and see, now they're left with a choice. They can continue to try to do this mind fuck on you all on propaganda, so that your minds will naturally start associating the two and then discrediting one because the other purposefully acting as crazy as she is. Or they'll stop it to try to prove me wrong. No other way about it. Thing is, I've watched it and there's far more to it than that I have indeed compiled and gotten proof of. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here goddamn statements. He ain't gonna do no such thing to me as the, oh, you're crazy, Gifford. I love it. That's where they always go, like many abusers and cons and shit do, right? They're always like, oh, you're crazy, you're hysterical. The woman has boobs, put her in the asylum. You know? They always about that. It's inevitable with any type of criminal or monster. Try to do that crazy making shit, or making their victims or whatever look like they're goddamn bad shit. And I'm not, in the least. And people like me were used to decades of having to keep, or most of our lives, keep receipts so that monsters can't do that. And this is where this realm's always fucked up where it concerns me. And I don't know why they continue to do it, quite frankly. And I don't even think, I think they know that I catch on real quickly. They hope you all don't, though. And it does do a magical fucking job on some fucking Fruit Loops around here. It really does. Or those gullible or easily, tunnel visioned into shit, or those who don't have the attention spans for more than a clip, or stupid cute dance off, or hey Jody Sue's voice today, whatever, right? But watch. And if you actually go back, what remains, and you look at the last few weeks, and the timing, you have the real timing of posts and the original words and all the things where edits take place and the videos taken down and how that's been done slowly and a little effort the last few weeks, especially since February and Summer's birthday. Is weirdly enough, Crystal during that was like, Candace and I hope you're watching. Oh, sure. Anyway, I'm sure. But if you notice, there are things I start to talk about or am talking about. And then I'm left with a choice after she does that. I can continue talking about or going in those directions, and inevitably she'll get more. One of the creators will magically open up all the little contents for the batch. Weirdly enough, though nobody likes her, right? And she's batshit crystal when it's convenient for them. But then all of a sudden, all the magical pieces will be available for her again. Almost as if they're working in a group. And they're giving her the things and access to, oh my goodness. And then she'll use it, and most of what she'll talk about, she'll incorporate me in there somehow, my family. And she'll put out a bunch of little bat shit in the middle, and she'll scream at people and demand things and make it a big thing. And they know I don't want that, because that motherfucking thing over there, talking about some damage, it's been one of their biggest damage insertive criminal motherfuckers in Summer's case. And to real lives in the destruction of Summer's case, and not just here online, but in real life. That'd be Crystal goddamn Sims up in Pennsylvania, along with quite a few others. So it's behooving her to act that shit right now, or to try to flip script on others, right? And to call into all the police agencies across everywhere, sounding possibly similar in her batshit crazy theories as to what might be really called in a real legit manner, but mentions similar things. See how that peppering and tampering with the minds of Ellie and Quartz works too, by the nutters like Crystal that are not that nice. I do. I've seen a few of these people. Alright, whatever. I know what they're doing. But yeah, if you notice, it started Summer's birthday, but since Cher did her little thing, and you can demo bet that was the request of someone a little higher than her, because she was made to get up in the middle of the night to do certain things. And then to start the effort that's now trickled down to Hilts. Oh, AB, you don't say, and others doing. And if you'll pay attention, with actual timing, minute to minute based, watch what CC does. Which, I mean, yeah, how do you tell the difference, right? She ain't left my name or my family's names alone in years since she started inserting and committing crimes and such around us years ago, and to us, whatever else, right? She ain't stopped. And surely is one obsessed, scary, and I don't mean scary like, oh my god, but dude, that's one that should probably never.
That's not true. My channel has been taken down. I've gone private. I've gone straight to my YouTube, to my Facebook page. I've gone absent for months at a time. Just now I took a big break. I'm not out here every day with Jody Sue's name in my mouth. And I don't just cover Jody Sue. Let me show you. I cover music. Okay, that's all Jody Sue. But I got Linda, Penny,
I got a call to my dad's company. More Linda, more music. I mean, I do have a lot of Jody Sue, but here's Dear Mrs. Tia, Ziggy. I cover the regular news stuff that goes on. I cover Tiffany. I cover Benny. I cover Doug, no thanks, which we'll get to him soon, not tonight. Oh, I got some shit for him. And I do have an interview coming up. I got some text messages. I'm not going to share them. He didn't say much, but just telling you that Bam is not going to blow me off. Hold on. His last couple text messages to me were, yeah, I did laugh out loud. I'm going through a lot right now, but I'm not going to blow you off. Just if I can't get to you today, I will. If it's not, it'll be this week sometime, okay? And then I wrote him, I'm available whenever. And then he put, see, don't worry, I won't forget you. And I put, okay, cool. So I have an interview coming up about Ernie Shell. Is that what Jody is all up in arms about? But I cover Tim Mullins. I cover Molly. Like, where do you see that all of my content, this is what Jody says. She says all of my content is just about her, and that is the furthest thing from the truth that there could possibly be. I probably have less Jody Sue content than I do other content. Squall, Wayne Morlock, Chase, Summer's birthday, Benny, TBI, Quentin's case, Monkey's case, Brandon lawsuit, my David Britt interviews. Like, I don't understand where Jody gets that I only cover her, because that is the furthest thing from the truth that she could even say. But let's continue listening to her spew her bullshit.
Cross my path in this world. But will one day, of course, for sure. But yeah, like, I find her to be one very dangerous individual. Like, she truly is the type you could go to a goddamn checkout lane, buy a pack of smokes from, and the next thing you know, she's on your front fucking porch boiling goddamn bunnies. Right? I'm not even kidding.
So we're getting to the end here, but listen to her. No, he's an MMA fighter. But listen to her. She's on here like, I will come to her house and unalive her. And then she goes on to tell, she's making her subs believe that I would come to her house to unalive her. Jody, I would never do that. I would never even threaten that. And as a matter of fact, I've always said I don't even want to come to Tennessee while Summer's missing and there's not answers for her. So I don't understand where you're getting I would come to your house, or that I threatened that I came to your house to unalive you. That's never happened. That's never been part of my language, and it's never something that I ever attempted to say or threaten you with. So you need to quit making these accusations up, because they're nothing but lies. But after this, she's going to go on to tell her subs to sue me because of this. We're getting to the end of the video here. I'm just, again, going to sit back. I'll come back one more time before I get off of here. I don't want to stay on long. Like I said, I'm not feeling good. But this is the bullshit that this bitch spews. And I'm over it. I'm done. I don't think she understands how done I am. And as soon as I can figure out a way, I'm suing you. I want you to know that. Your attempts at silencing me or any other creators are over. Because that's what this is. You're telling people I'm going to come hurt you, and then you're telling your subs to go silence me by suing me. It's lies. Stop it. You're the most evil bitch besides fucking Prayer Garden on here. You need to fucking chill. I think you're even more evil than her. Look at that smug look on your fucking face. Bitch.
She would be a real danger to anyone that made the mistake of even speaking to her that she latched onto like a baby duckling. You know. Didn't want anything to do with her. And, oh, yeah. Oh, damn right. I really believe that. And I really believe that she could hurt someone or potentially kill them if they dared spurn her in the right ways on the wrong goddamn day. Absolutely, I do. I do firmly believe that. Anyway, so I guess pay attention. We'll see if they want to keep up their mindfuckery that's being compiled. And honestly, if you all out here watching these channels, you know, that's not just harming us and putting out a narrative about us in order to mindfuck you all into thinking or going one way or the other and then helping them torment or go rely on or defame or to slander us or anything else, right? Or to create doubt bubbles or discredit or intimidate or threaten or do whatever, right? You all yourselves, if you can show that of these creators and if they're doing that and using that as a method to take advantage of you mentally and emotionally as viewers in a group effort, you as viewers and subs and members yourselves can go and sue the shit. And I mean that. Any of you that catch these creators doing that and you can put it together and compile on your own, you can take these fucking creators to court for defrauding you if you sent them money. You can take them to court for civil, emotional, and mental distress or harm. All you've got to do is compile yourselves. And I mean, they really are hurting you all. They are making you spongier and more likely to be harmed in any realm by making you more vulnerable to tactics like that in and around you for life. They're also breaking your trust in other human beings and an abundance and a host of other things. And if they've taken money from you while doing that, with the intention of doing that, and you can prove it,
Jody, we're going to go through my social blade. You know how to go look that up. You know what I've made. I barely make money. When I collected that Cash App, I sent it back. My court case was closed. I want to get a PI. Hopefully one day I'll be able to do that. Because I want to sue you. You have been doing this to me and my channel for all of these years. I don't know why. Why are you out here like this? Why do you continue when nobody's talking about you? Summer's case hasn't even gotten much attention lately. I haven't even been on that much lately. And when I have, it's not about you. So I don't understand what it is you're exactly attempting here. But it's going to end. Okay? I promise you it's going to end. Arrests are coming soon.
And I pray to God that you're one of those arrests, because I think you have a big hand in doing the cover-up work, and that's why you're out here on YouTube. To cover up whatever mess you and Andy's family made, along with mine.
You as subs and members can actually shoot the shit out of it. We'll see which way the wind blows. Now, CZ does have a habit, always, throughout the years, of mimicking, parroting, wearing my skin, doing the shit, tormenting the fuck out of myself, my family, blah, blah, blah. You know, since Scott and Ziggy and the rest built her ass to do it, let her out of the gates. And they've, done all the shit over all the years. So you always catch her with my name or something to twizzle in, whatever the fuck it is. But I want you to see which way this goes with me. And I hate to do that because it'll put eyes on the piece of shit, which is also what they want, which is, it's always bad to put any attention, especially on that one or the others, because, still attention. And then somebody could really think, oh wow, this is a great, and Dirty is mad because they're close to something and they're gonna catch her, and oh, she's worried because CZ or Shay or somebody, they're just so close, and oh my god, I shouldn't do it. You're stupid. But there'll always be those types, and I hate that. It's just how it's gonna be. Until some sort of conclusion is reached here, and some of these some bitches are in jail cells. Are made examples of, but anyway. I can't fix that, but we'll see which way it goes. But it's been happening for weeks, right under y'all's noses, and what they're trying and is to correlate us together, and that's why you keep seeing and hearing her mentioned right after me. In a slow, methodical effort over the last few weeks. Or why it'll be my video, but then her face on it. Or, what AB did the other day after having Andrew Hiltz play in it. And doing the pieces back to back. But then in the pieces where it looks like he's calling out Andrew, but they're not. They're the baby smacking bullshit, nothing burgers, about like Tragedy Pimps Exposed puts out. And by the way, we'll get there here in a minute. I got something to show y'all. Wait for it. Come on to the fucking circus. Right? Sons of bitches. Anyway, but yeah, that's what they're on lately. And there's been a few other things I've touched on, obviously. More than a few that almost every day when I go live, it starts to go, and it's sort of a, and then if it mentions something that I seem like I'm gearing towards, then I have a choice. I can continue on my pathway, or it's going to be picked up by that one and made a mess out of. And then eyes at any of those times, you guarantee will be pushed towards it. And nobody wants that. But also, maybe sometimes I seem like I'm gearing up for certain ways to talk about certain things, and that I really have no intention of. Just to see what shakes. Just see. Because I know that those things matter a bit and shake the three realms to certain teens and motherfuckers. They don't want certain things mentioned, and see how quick that shit tries to be done away with if anybody starts calling it out. Sometimes piss frog's a good weather bait for what the group doesn't want spoken about. But that others already know. You don't need to carry forward on. They just need to see if there's a reaction too. That's what you get when you hire a skin walking fucking bunny boiler or whatever. Y'all gotta hire better. Seriously.
Nothing but acting. That's all that is. She knows when to take a sip of her pop, when to pause, when to roll her eyes. It's nothing but acting on Jody Sue's part. Jody, I hope you know law enforcement is looking deeply into you, in my opinion. And in my opinion, I can't wait till they put the fucking shackles on your ass and you sit your ass behind bars. And the whole world knows what you're involved in and what your cover up is. Because it's my opinion you're covering up for people. That's all I have to say tonight. Listen, guys. Thank you for bearing with me while I'm going through such a hard time. I appreciate you all for being here, and I'll be back. I want to come cover some Ernie stuff. I'm just going slow, adapting to new life. I don't want to cry on panel. I'm very depressed these days. It's a slow process coming back, but this bitch, nothing changes. I love you guys. Peace and love. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow or soon with the Ernie stuff, okay? Thank you. Bye.